look at this man. I asked him to bring me to a fancy restaurant, and he brought me to Cheesecake Factory.
You want to get on check job with? Go ahead. Pay your side of tab. We gonna split the bills. Pay your side of tab in.
Absolutely
I'm not gonna put up with this.
I will go out of here right now and catch an Uber.
Oh, you can pay your tab in.
No.
One thing that instantly stood out was the timing. She stayed quiet the entire meal, but the moment the food arrived and everything was already on the table, that's when the complaints suddenly started rolling in. And considering this wasn't some low-budget fast food stop, the situation quickly became even more awkward. Welcome back, everyone. In today's video, we're diving into a collection of unbelievable first date moments where people appeared more focused on getting an expensive meal than actually building a real connection. But as these clips unfold, things don't exactly go the way they planned, leading to some tense, surprising, and even embarrassing outcomes.
Yeah, so why does man take me out on a date, right?
Oh, I love it when somebody gets a chance at love. Let's see how her date went.
And then here I am thinking, okay, I'm gonna just order the most expensive on the menu, which is what I did.
Now, why would you do that?
I got the porterhouse, macaroni, Brussels sprouts. Why the motherfucker up and leaving?
He left? Oh my gosh, I'm so surprised.
So now I gotta figure this out because I'm not paying no half bill.
So let me get this straight just to run it back. A man asked this woman out on a date. She gets on the date and she orders the most expensive items on the menu. Somewhere in the date, something went awry and he excuses himself and never comes back and leaves her stuck with the bill. And it looked like he enjoyed his meal. Ladies, these men can spot a mile away when you are trying to use them. Not to say that she couldn't afford to pay for it, but she is definitely trying to figure out how she gonna pay now that he is gone. If you are not dating with the intent of being in a relationship and making a genuine connection, leave these men alone because you are messing up somebody's husband before they can align with their.
Honestly, I can understand why many people feel the same way about this situation. Going on dates purely to get free meals, expensive gifts, or personal benefits completely misses the point of building a genuine connection. And to be fair, this kind of behavior can happen from either side, not just one. What makes it worse is how much time and energy gets wasted in the process. One person may be showing real interest, while the other is only focused on what they can gain from the experience. That's usually when disappointment, frustration, and awkward situations start to unfold.
This blood-glad deal thought my name was free food. The bill came up to $203.65.
So, you have to come to my house later tonight?
No, fuck here, what I look like? Thanks for the meal though. I ain't coming though.
Alright, give me a second, I can be got the bathroom, eh? This blood color girl feel like say, me free food, or she take money for the fuck.
Yo, where you going? You gonna pay the bill?
The fuck? Yo, move your bum back, clot, man. Don't call up my blood clot phone, man.
Dropping more than $200 on a first date is already a major investment, especially when two people are just getting to know each other. But what really made the situation stand out was the way the conversation unfolded afterward. The attitude, the disrespectful comments, and the overall tone quickly turned what should have been a normal evening into an uncomfortable moment to watch. What surprised many viewers the most was how confidently everything was said without any hesitation or self-awareness. A lot of people watching would probably agree that mutual respect matters far more than the price of the dinner, especially during a first impression.
So someone sent me this video this morning. You're not gonna believe this, ladies and gentlemen. So she's upset at her Lyft driver because a guy ordered a Lyft for her. She was in the car and she started to have a conversation with the Lyft driver and tell him how she wasn't really attracted to him because he was a short king, he wasn't buff, but he was kind and sweet and nice, and that's why she was going to meet him. Now, bear in mind, he ordered the Lyft, right? So the transaction was through him and the Lyft driver. So she started talking about how she likes her men more buff and built, and the only reason she's really going to see him is because he's been pressing to see her, and he's really sweet, but she's not into him at all, but she doesn't tell him for whatever reason, because maybe she's trying to get something from him or trying to get him to do something for her. So, as she is on her way to his house, right, and telling the Lyft driver all her business and tea about this guy, she noticed that the guy's texts start to get more dry. the guy was saying, oh, I can't wait to see you. I've been missing you. I'm excited. And it goes from that to, yeah, okay. Because she's like, I'm almost there. I'm 5 minutes away. It's like, yeah, okay. Now, where she is, it's freezing cold, okay? She gets to the guy's house, and the guy will not open up the door. And you know why? The Lyft driver messaged the guy and told him, yeah, she ain't it, bro. She don't really like you. He told her everything that she had told him on the way there to save the guy. So the guy knew. And the guy told her, like, yeah, I know everything that you said. You ain't really about me. So you can go ahead and get your own Lyft back home. And she was out there in the cold. This story warms my heart. It really does. It makes me so happy. Men are starting to wise up. I'm going to tell y'all this again. Only date women who are enthusiastic and excited about.
The rideshare driver handled that situation surprisingly well, and a lot of people would probably say his honesty may have saved that man from wasting both money and valuable time in the future. Sometimes an outside perspective can reveal warning signs that someone may not notice right away. What really stood out was how quickly the atmosphere changed once the driver shared his opinion. Looking back, that moment may have prevented several more expensive outings and a lot of unnecessary frustration down the road.
I just get back from a Hinge date. Why am I doing this to myself? So we scheduled to go to dinner. We are sitting at the restaurant. Seems very nice. Not a catfish. Things are going well. And the waitress comes over. She wants to take her order. And I said, okay, I'm going to take the branzino. And he said, I'm going to take the burger. And the waitress asked him, okay, how do you like your burger? He said how he likes his burger. And do you want some cheese on your burger? And he asked, is this going to be extra? And she says, yes, it's $3 extra. And he said, okay, then never mind. Over there, and I'm like, what the actual I'm like, okay, I'm hungry. I'm going to eat my branzino and see what happens. And he's like, oh my God, you have to pay extra for everything these days. And I'm like, yeah, it's New York City. So I got my branzino, he got his burger, we were eating. And once I was satisfied, I got up and I was like, I'm going to the restroom for a second. And I took my purse and I went to the waitress and I was like, hey, I just want to pay the bill. And I just paid the bill and walked out of the restaurant, and I texted him. So I texted him, the check is taken care of, you should have gotten the cheese. And
what really caught people's attention was the fact that the entire focus seemed to shift towards something as small as a $3 extra item instead of the actual experience of the date itself. For many viewers, that reaction came across as overly focused on money rather than communication, chemistry, or mutual respect. To the end of the day, most people believe strong relationships are built on genuine connection and understanding, not on testing how much someone is willing to spend. When financial expectations become the center of attention that early on, it can leave others questioning whether the relationship is truly about compatibility or simply material value.
Why did you bring me here?
Why would I bring you to Olive Garden?
Yeah, like what? Wait, do I look like an Olive Garden type of girl?
This is our first date. This is our first date. Like, I don't even know you. Why would I spend all this money on you?
Spend all this money? Like, what are you talking about? All this money?
I got you.
Like $15 for a plate. Like,
it's not
it's
50.
cheap.
Okay, I don't know what you're ordering.
It's cheap. Like, if you're broke, just say that. Like,
I'm not broke, okay?
I'm not this type of girl. Like, a chain restaurant? Do I look like I eat fast food?
This is not fast food.
You might as well have taken me to McDonald's. Like, what?
Okay, yeah, see, I've heard enough.
No.
Look, this date is not gonna work. It's over, okay? And I can take my flowers back.
These cheap flowers, yeah, you can take those back. They're cheap. You get them from the grocery store. You didn't even go to a florist.
What's the problem with going to a grocery store?
You didn't go to a florist. Like, they look cheap. Like, if you're broke, like, just say that. Like, it's okay to...
Look, you had no problem asking me for a ride. What do you mean by broke? If
I'm a passenger princess. There's no reason I need to be driving. Like,
you don't even have a car. You don't have an option.
I don't need a car. Like,
you're gonna need a car. You're gonna need a car because you're gonna get out of my car and you're gonna walk home.
No, you can take me back home.
I'm not taking.
He showed up with flowers, actual roses, and planned a dinner at Olive Garden, which, honestly, is still considered a solid and respectable place for a first date. It may not be a luxury 5-star restaurant, but it's definitely not some careless or low-effort choice either. For many people, it's a comfortable spot to relax, have a conversation, and genuinely get to know someone. And that's really the entire purpose of a first date in the first place. It's supposed to be about building a connection, seeing if the chemistry is real, and enjoying each other's company, not turning the night into a competition over price tags or expensive expectations.
One more time.
I said, I am trying to have my first child with you, and I promise you we can get married first, then we can have a child, and I'll treat you right.
Oh, okay.
So do we got a deal or not?
We'll see.
That's what we're gonna see.
This whole situation came across as pretty harsh to a lot of viewers. You could see both of them laughing in the car, and for many people watching, it made the moment feel even more uncomfortable. Situations like this are part of the reason some people have become more hesitant or cautious when it comes to approaching someone they're genuinely interested in. What really amplified the reaction online was the decision to post the entire interaction publicly on social media. Once private moments become entertainment for millions of strangers, the conversation quickly shifts from a simple date experience into a much larger debate about respect, dating culture, and how people treat each other online.
Unpopular opinion, a man should be paying for every single date, and here is why. If a man cannot afford or is unwilling to buy you dinner every single time he takes you on a date, then how could you ever, as a woman, in your right mind, expect that same man to be able to provide for a child and a wife who has to stay home because she just gave birth and her body needs to physically repair? I'm sorry, but it is just so unrealistic. And there is a culture that is hating on people who want a provider, and that is so wrong, because there's nothing wrong with being a woman and expecting a man to pay for your dates. Not just because you spend a bunch of money on your hair and makeup. That's so true, and like a lot of men don't do the same. So like, yes, we invest a lot more in presenting ourselves for a date than a guy. That's totally fair. But more important than anything is the fact that if a man can't pay for dinner, how can he pay for a child one day and a wife and a family? He can't. He won't be willing to. So he's clearly not going to make a good husband. So men, if you want to make a good husband, pay for the date.
Like I mentioned earlier, when the main focus of a date becomes how much money someone is spending instead of actually getting to know the other person, that can be a major warning sign for many people. Relationships are usually strongest when both individuals value honesty, effort, and mutual respect rather than treating the experience like a financial transaction. To the very least, clear expectations should be communicated from the beginning. If someone strongly believes the other person should cover every expense, being upfront about that before the date can avoid confusion and disappointment later on. In the end, transparency and respect tend to create far healthier connections than unrealistic expectations or hidden intentions.
Today I linked with this man a few weeks ago out with my friends. This been texting me for weeks talking to himself. Why I didn't block him, I don't know. But today I was bored and I had time, so he texted me like, can we meet for drinks? And I'm like, yeah, meet me here. They got the best oysters in Atlanta, like hands down. So I'm like, yes, I can get some content. Come on. It's so good. Yeah, when the fourth one came out, he was looking at me crazy. I didn't give a f. I'm like, baby, you invited me out. I'm gonna eat, and I was coming anyway. But I ain't gonna lie, no, I wouldn't have did all that, but I did do all that. It was so good. I was not expecting it to be that good. Oh my God. It was just so good. Like I had to. It was so good. So after that, I'm like, baby, what's next? What I'm about to eat? These potatoes, they were so good. And the crab cakes, everything was so good. 10, baby. Why the f*** he going to the bathroom and never come back? I'm like, hold the phone. It's been like 10, 20, 30 minutes. What if this never end up
at the oyster bar? And she said this, running out on the tab is crazy. And he replied back and says, I offered to take you out for drinks and you ordered all that food. I can cash app you the total for the drinks. And of course, you know, we got to get to the comments. So the first person commented said this, laughed my butt off. If it was her moaning over the if it wasn't her moaning, because she was, y'all, hold on, let me get the clip. Girl, moaning over the freaking oysters. But the person continues and says, if it wasn't for her the moaning over the oysters and recording with her camera flash on, or her ordering an additional 5th plate of food, that he officially decided that he was going to dip out on her, right? Because we don't know what made him leave on that date. Another person tweeted this and said, between slurping down 48 oysters, 3 lemon drops, 2 crab cakes, and ordering potatoes, laughing my butt off, did she even have time to talk and vibe with her actual date? Which is a great question, because I was curious too. Like, did she have time to even talk to him? Somebody else said, this just greedy. Girl, it was greedy. Another person said this, and I had to go back and watch the video. They said $11 tip is crazy because that bill basically was at least $150. Y'all, she left $11. I know that bill was high. I know it was high.
A woman complained online about a date in which a man snuck out of the restaurant and stuck her with the bill after watching her eat 48 oysters. And like you, I was completely on her side until the words 48 oysters.
Lot of viewers felt the original video came across as awkward from start to finish. From the constant recording at the table to using the camera flash inside the restaurant, the entire situation probably felt unusual for the person sitting across from her. Instead of focusing on conversation and enjoying the date, the attention seemed heavily centered on creating content for social media. Moments like that can easily leave someone confused or uncomfortable, especially on a first date where both people are still trying to make a genuine connection. For many watching, the behavior raised concerns about maturity, respect, and whether the experience was being treated seriously at all.
How much do you think a man should spend on a first date on you?
Not that much. I don't think not that much. Honestly, I feel like, I know there's some girls that think that they should spend like $100, this and that, whatever. No. Honestly, I think, a guy should spend, a coffee date is more than enough. Because honestly, you don't want to spend that much money on someone that is just like, isn't gonna be a waste of time. It's like, no, spend like $20 on a coffee date, matcha, whatever. It's just like, there's going to be some girls that disagree with me. Sorry, girlies, I'm sorry. But it's just like, the ones that are trying to look for a guy a man that wants to provide and everything. It's just like, I think that it's just like, a coffee date is more than enough, honestly.
Just to feel the vibes, right?
Yeah, just to feel the vibe, see how he is as in like what he does for a living, see if he's family oriented, all that stuff. Like, see how he is and everything. That's more than enough to see which one look for a man. Honestly, you don't need $100 for a date. Why? For what? You don't need that. I think you don't need that.
Yeah.
You don't.
People often argue that the mindset someone shows on a first date can reflect what they might expect later in a relationship. If one person immediately focuses on high spending, expensive expectations, or placing financial pressure on the other, it can raise concerns about long-term compatibility for some viewers. Over time, financial expectations in a relationship can become more complex if they are not discussed openly and honestly from the beginning. That's why many people emphasize communication, boundaries, and shared understanding early on, rather than assumptions. And with that said, the final clip is one you won't want to miss.
Hey, so niggas will flirt with you at the grocery store, but not offer to pay for your groceries? Get the fuck out of my face! I beg your fucking pardon? What the fuck do you think this is? I'm over here shopping for things, and you're flirting with me while I'm shopping for things, but not offering to pay for the things that I'm shopping for while you're trying to flirt with me. Are you stupid? Like, the only way to win right now is to pay for the groceries. If not, move the f around.
In many everyday situations, it's uncommon for someone to cover all expenses for another person during simple interactions like casual conversation or getting to know each other. In this case, the man may have simply been being polite and engaging in light small talk, without any deeper expectations on either side. To the end of the day, interpretations can vary depending on perspective, and not every interaction carries the same meaning for both people involved. Thanks for watching, and that wraps up today's clips.